I want to talk to you real quick about how the categories work in Ninja Social. Okay, so I do reserve the right to change this just a little bit if I need to. But these are the defaults that I'm setting up to go into your account when you create your account for the first time. So you will see these categories. I'll show you where they show up and what to do with them. And these are based on the 5 C's for community from Katia at Viral Marketing Stars. And I'll leave a link somewhere near this video for you so that you can go and check that out if you want to. The 5 C's are credibility, conversation, conversion. I said those backwards, doesn't matter. Community and connection. So I want to make sure that you have categories within, your posting schedule, your queue that you can publish into for all of those things. Okay. And I've even broken them down just a little bit more because I personally like to track, how my different posts are doing in a more, what am I trying to say? I want to be more aware of which ones really are working and not working for me. Okay. So, am I getting more engagement on my blog posts where I'm linking people over to my blog? Or am I getting more on my tips? Am I getting more engagement on testimonials? Like within that credibility category, I want to get a little more minute with it. If you don't want to, you do not have to. You can change these categories as you see fit. You could have just one category for each of these. You could delete all of these and just use the main category if this stresses you out. It's totally fine. Do what works for you. Okay. And then we also have a category for holidays to post into, which you may or may not need to use. And also posts created by Ninja Social, which are it depends on which plan you're on if you're taking advantage of that feature or not. So just check your plan. Right now we have on the pro plan and on the Social Samurai plan, you will see that we are creating some posts for you that will go into your approval area, and then they'll post into, you can have them go into these categories. Okay. So the last one I guess I need to mention is this main category. We do have to have sort of a catch-all category. This one is not currently editable or deletable. You can't change the color on it. It's just kind of there. You can choose to use it or not use it. It's kind of a catch-all. So for example, if you accidentally deleted this one, or maybe on purpose even, and we could no longer put the Ninja Social posts into that category, they would default to go into the main category. So if you have anything scheduled out and you then delete the category that it was in, it should, I believe, default to go into that main category. That is your catch-all sort of everything category. Okay. And then I've also set you up with a custom schedule to start, which uses all of these categories and has kind of a good balance of making sure that each of these is on the calendar somewhere. Okay. So this is your default schedule, and you can change this however you see fit. And the way that it works is when you schedule a post and you tell it to go into the queue, for your category, it's going to find, the next available time that that category shows up on your calendar. So for example, let's see, if you want to post tips, those are going to go on Monday at 2 p.m., for example. Or I'm sure I have these on here again. There's also Saturday, wherever you see that on the schedule here, that is when that tip would then show up. Now, if you schedule to a specific time and date, it will bypass these settings and it's going to go on that time and date. Okay. And it's also looking to see if you're scheduling to go to the queue, It's also going to look for not just the time that that category is scheduled, but also is there a spot for those social media categories that you selected on that post. So for example, if you tell a post to schedule to the tips category for just Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, for example, then if LinkedIn was not on here on your calendar, then it's not going to find a slot for it, and it's going to error out. If there's no spot on your calendar anywhere where you are able to schedule in LinkedIn tips, then it's going to tell you, it's going to error out for you, and it's not going to post. So I right now have sort of all of the social media selected on these for you by default. You can take them off if you're like, I would never, ever, ever post let's see, what's a good example? Like industry news, those sort of like links to other people's blog posts and whatnot. If you're like, I would never post those over to TikTok, then you could go ahead and remove that. And then that way, if you accidentally scheduled something like that to TikTok, it wouldn't have a place to go and you'd be notified. So you can edit this however you see fit. Okay, the other thing I wanted to show you, I'm now in the publish area on the schedule page. Once you start to get a little bit of data accumulating with your posts, and Ninja Social can kind of gather information and see how people are engaging with your posts, you can come in here, and this is also where you'll edit any categories if you need to, and you can drag and drop these around to different time slots, which I want to show you next. But come in here and click this tactical overlay. And anywhere where you see the purple, that is where there's more engagement happening with your post. So you can get more in depth with this. You can rank it by clicks or leads or sales. You can add your own different things to filter by even. And you can also filter by category or social network. So I'm just looking at this clicks one for this example. And this is why you're seeing that I have moved some of my things around a little bit. And I'm probably not going to go and post at midnight. And I have just started this account not too long ago, so you're not seeing a lot of dark purple, but here's an example of there's dark purple. That means I'm getting more engagement there. So I'm definitely going to try and make sure that I'm dragging and dropping these and moving them around so that my posts go out when there's actually more engagement. Again, probably not going to move something to like 3 a.m. on a Friday. That's probably, we have a few people who are overseas that are in totally different time zone. And that's probably why those are showing up. Maybe some night owls at midnight here, but that's why I have some of these just kind of shifted around a little bit. Okay. And then as I was saying, when you are going to publish something, you will select which social media channels you want that on. And you will also select the category. So by default, it may say main right here. You're going to change it to whichever category that you need that in. Okay, I hope that helps. And please let us know if you have any questions around how this works.